mums and a camera.
Hello.
Today we have a bit of a story time. Well, it's more like a report.
It's a report.
It's a report. It's a
Investigative report.
investigative report with two mums and a camera. So I heard this story and I'm like, we have to talk about this. Well, my worst nightmare is being on a plane. But being trapped on a dark plane that's been abandoned by everyone and locked up for the night is a complete
Crazy
nightmare. So this woman was going from Quebec to Toronto. I won't tell you which flight because it's really not important right now. She fell asleep and she woke up. She was freezing cold. The whole plane was in darkness. She could not see a thing. She grabs her phone and she texts her friend and she said, I don't know what happened, but I'm here alone on a plane. I'm by myself. The friend then, I guess, calls the Toronto airport. But she's sitting there and no one's coming to help her or rescue her or anything. And it's pitch black. Can you imagine?
No.
So she makes her way to the cockpit, which is also disturbing that she has access to the cockpit.
Right.
She finds a flashlight.
Right.
She's able then to go to the washroom because she couldn't see anything before and figures out how to unlock the door of the plane. And so now the plane doors open and she sees that it's a huge drop and there's no way she can make it down. So she starts like signaling with her flashlight and trying to get attention from any airport staff. And finally a baggage handler comes over and is able to help her down. But we have to talk about this because there's so many.
I'm not buying it.
So what are you not buying?
I think this was maybe planned by her. She's gonna get money for this, a settlement from Air Canada, I'm sure.
But who would want?
You're not in danger, Nikki. You're on tarmac.
No. See, no.
How do you not wake up?
Okay, so
Think
here's
about when a plane lands, okay, people, and everyone pushing and shoving, opening overhead compartments, pulling things down, hitting people, talking, crying, whatever, rushing to get off. That is chaos. That's like being in a cattle car there. How do you not wake up?
Well, I have a few ideas on why, and one of them is, as a nervous flyer myself, I've often looked at medications or a little bit of, alcohol to get me through a flight. So now I'm really careful with all of that, and I suggest everyone else be
And
careful.
she
with
always
really
travels with someone.
That's right. Who
who's
knows
looking
that
out
I'm
for her.
right. But I can't tell you how many times I've looked across the seat from me and I've seen someone passed out cold before the flight even takes off. And I mean, they're out. And when I say they're out, there are people like literally walking by them and bumping them. Luggage is coming down on their head. A million other things are happening.
So what does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, I think that some passengers, their fear overtakes them, even on short flights,
Right.
and may misunderstand how much they're taking, or maybe ask their doctor for a prescription medication and have not tried it before.
Right.
All of these things, and when you're traveling by yourself, that's just not a good
But is
idea.
that the passenger's fault then for doing that? Or
Well,
is that still...
no, I still blame the airline, and here's why. I think that there's got to be, and I can't imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, I don't know this for a fact, but I can't imagine there's not a protocol around exiting an aircraft when you are a pilot and
There has to be checks. That's why I
attendance.
think maybe she was hiding.
Yeah, but if you're doing your job properly, you're going to find somebody
Right,
hiding.
that's true.
And I mean, think about today when you have people who can
that's
do
true.
serious damage with an airplane.
Oh, that's
I mean,
true.
you are literally leaving your airplane open to
Yeah.
anybody, and that's scary.
That's very...
And I
That's
mean,
even scarier.
Right.
Wow.
So I think that, and I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be any situation, really. Somebody wanting to try out flying a plane, for that matter. Who knows what it could be? It could be very innocent, but at the same time, I think it's such a dangerous thing. And
See, I
think,
once traveled back from England and a young person, she was in her 20s, say, came and sat beside me. She was in the middle. She put earplugs in, her eye mask down, and she proceeded to fall asleep. And I tell you, fall asleep, like immediately. Drooling, head dropping. Before we'd even taxied to the runway, like she was asleep and she slept the whole trip. I remember thinking she must be on something. She must be drugged in some way in order to sleep so quickly and so easily. But when you think about it, that's sort of like dangerous for all of us if somebody's doing that, because what if there is an emergency?
Yes.
And she's not easy to rouse. Someone has to
Right.
go and get her.
Right.
Like,
I've often thought about this too, and that's the reason why I'll have a glass of wine as
That's why
opposed
she drinks.
why I'll have a glass of wine as opposed to a sleeping pill, because even gravel makes me so drowsy. I think if there was ever an emergency, like
You're not getting out.
Think about the flight where they landed in the water. That literally took everybody's 100% efforts
Right.
to get on that plane wing. They had to help each other. I mean, can you imagine if you're like
I've seen kids drugged to get on a plane. I've seen, drugged. I mean, that's very dramatic. I mean, like, given medication to help them be drowsy so they'll sleep.
Yeah.
I've talked to parents who've done it. I'm not for it. I'm really not. And I think that this maybe puts another spin on it because it is a dangerous situation.
Yes, I agree.
Because I don't think anyone who was routinely sleeping could miss a plane empty.
I don't understand. Landing.
I'm not saying that the fault isn't on whoever's last off the plane needs to make a safety check.
I think that the airline is responsible, regardless. I mean, somebody could be hiding in the bathroom, for all you know, right?
You should be checking those too, right?
Absolutely, you should be checking everywhere, and I think this is the responsibility of the airline. But I can't imagine if this was a legitimate mistake that happened with this woman. I feel for her because I can't imagine waking up in that environment all by yourself.
I would just call 911. See, that's the thing. She didn't do that.
Yeah.
Think about it. I'd call 911 and then I'd hunt for booze.
You'd have the
In that
champagne-
order.
You'd have the champagne broken up. I
Yes.
wonder how you would even breathe on a plane.
Well, Niki, there's enough oxygen
Is
in there.
there?
Of course. You're
I
fine.
don't know.
She
You're
was
all
never
like,
in
shut
danger.
up.
She had food. Well, no, she probably didn't have food.
No.
She might have had snacks, like those little
Nuts.
They don't give nuts anymore. The little whatever.
They would have found you with the champagne and the nuts.
I would have
Sitting
found
in
some nuts,
first class.
baby. Sitting
First
in
class.
first class, because that's the only way I will ever be able to afford to sit in first class.
You gotta do it when you can,
That's
right?
right.
Anyway, don't try that ever.
No.
Get off the plane.
Get
people.
off the damn plane.
That's right.
And-
And listen. And listen. If you are
Nervous flyer.
just make sure that you know what you're taking before you actually
And
get
try
on that
it
flight.
before you get on a plane.
Don't do it
Don't be stupid.
Pre-flight,
Don't
yeah.
be stupid.
for sure.
Thanks for watching.